Oh, man, there were some technical difficulties there due to Heroin Novak tripping over cords and shit.
I thought I dropped a bag on the floor. Sorry, guys.
We just wait for the Amish radio network, so you guys.
With Rake and Novak together, cords just get unplugged and problems happen.
You never know.
Another problem. Isn't it so funny, Novak, how all the girls that you bring over to your bedroom, they always, like they leave something in his room. Like, it's always something like, I left my sweater over there. I need to come back. They always have to have a reason to come back.
After the radio show last week, you know, my Dudley talk that women just love. One insists on meeting me at the bar, so I meet her. She has goddamn skin-tight pants on. There's not a pocket anywhere on her body. She comes in with no pocketbook, no accessories, nothing. Long story short, I bring her back, bang her out my bedroom. Oh yeah. And then I don't call girls on my cell phone because I don't want them to have my number. So I use someone else's here. Yeah. I get back tonight, and the dude's like, yeah, that chick's been calling me all week, man. Said she left her ID in your room, and you have to call her as soon as you get home.
What'd you do? Tape it in her hair? Like, where's she gonna put her ID?
She didn't bring anything here.
She just wanted to come back here. Oh yeah.
Get some more Slovak. Oh God.
Slovak Novak.
Like, if I had a daughter and
Novak the Slomac.
If a dude like me ever showed up at my house to see my daughter, I would fucking murder him, man.
Yeah, after you fucked his mom and sister, you know, these Slovakians come back.
Novak, do you do it slow or fast? How do you do it?
Usually because I kind of just do it once and that's it, because I always lose the numbers or I'm on the bigger and better. So
didn't you tell the last chick you were just like, oh yeah, you like that? And she was like, what?
Oh yeah.
Are you doing anything?
I bring a chick back and I like sex talk sometimes. And they're like, ooh yeah, no.
Ew. I know. We don't need an example.
So I'm oral pleasuring her. I'm like, you like that? She's like, what'd you say? I'm like, well, I didn't ask you what the weather's going to be tomorrow, babe. Like, I probably did something sexual, so even if you don't want to talk back, just make a moan or something. It's the same broad who lied about leaving her IDs in my room. But it's so funny. If you go to my room right now, I swear to God, there's a random earring in my bed. There's a pair of high heels in the closet.
And they do it on purpose.
I don't know whose stuff this is.
That's amazing. I'm into it.
The old George Costanza maneuver. I do it all the time.
You must meet a higher caliber of girls than I do, because like I'll bring them back and I'll wake up, they'll be pissed on the toilet seat, like that.
Hey Jimbo, remember when I borrowed your car and then I
humped in it?
I humped Jen in it. And,
yeah, you thought I'd be mad, I think, because you were like, I humped in your car, and I was like you're giving me Christmas cards to say I humped in your car. I was like, yeah, but that was like around the time you lent me your Audi. Like, what am I gonna do? Complain?
Yeah, right.
You know? I sniffed the seat.
Did you
smell some Jen?
You were frumping? You were frumping the seat?
I could scratch and sniff.
Did you ever hear about these frumpers that come from Denmark?
They're gnarly.
Yeah, there's these frumpers that they like wait for girls to bike up to 7-Eleven and shit, and then as soon as they lock their bike up and go get a coffee or whatever, they go and frump the seat.
I'm into that.
Tell them how we heard. Yo, Bam, tell them how we found out about the frumper. Remember we met Cradle Phillips and I opened my big mouth and they thought I was a weird
Who's
guy.
a frumper?
Well, Deco when I'm looking sexy. Maybe.
Ooh.
Wait, from Cradle of Filth?
Yeah, okay, we go to Cradle of Filth on Thanksgiving, nothing to do. Now, they know me from him, but they really don't know my humor. So I'm like, man, we're so happy to see you play. I was just like going to go back to him and jerk him off all night. And they look at me like all the jokes just stop, and they're like, whoa.
Yeah, you never know where you're going to go with that.
Yeah.
And I'm always just like, God damn. And then he just makes it even worse. Like, oh, shut up. You know that we hooked up earlier, and like these guys they only met me once, so they think that he's dead serious, and I'm the one trying to be like, no, he's a liar, he's a liar.
Sam and I went to Duran Duran, and I don't believe I said it on the radio, but we went out to the bar, and we were getting drinks, and these girls were like, hey, you guys have backstage passes. I'm like, yeah, we're going to blow the whole band later. And they're all like, just stopping their tracks. Like, I'm like, you know what, most people probably don't.
Yeah, I do it all the time, Jimbo.
Especially Duran Duran fans. They're like 40 years old. They're like, what do you mean you're going to blow them? Like, that's, like, they don't understand, like, gay humor, you know what I mean? Like, they thought for sure, like, shit was going down backstage.
I want to do this every week. I mean, all these guys in a room with no pants on doing a radio show. I'm so into this.
Oh, let me tell you, it's great.
Right now, Friendly's is offering happy ending dessert. Novak, what is the happy ending dessert in your world?
Oh, man, you really want to know?
Yes, I would.
Happy ending dessert would be, ooh yeah. That's where we start with the ooh yeahs because they lead to nothing but good times. So, happy ending dessert would be, depending on my luck that night, either a rab or a hot mom.
What?
Licking my ass.
Don't forget, you're listening to Radio Man on Faction 28, 877 Porn Bag Man at SiriusRadio.com.
Oh yeah, if you guys want to call 877 Porn Bag, Ray Young would be more than happy to answer your calls.
I already had the answer, Brandon. I got such a bone to pick with you. I got this telephone call today at lunchtime from some girl in Texas whose dad just punched her in the face.
Why?
And my number was the first number that she called.
For help?
To find out. She's like, I really got to ask you advice. I'm like, I'm on my lunch break. Like, I just want to eat some food.
Here, let me explain to Jimmy. It's so funny because Brandon, every time we're on the radio, he's always like, yeah, if you want to give me a call, he always plays like he's Ray Young. He's like, yeah, I'm Ray Young. If you want to give me a call, just call 610.
Don't.
Do it. Sit on my face and do it. Sorry, damn.
So this girl, she called 9 yon.
Yeah, so I'm like, where'd you get my number? Oh, my friend heard it, and I really need your advice right now. I was like, me, of all the people in the world you could call for advice on what to do with your friend, anything, you know?
What is your advice, Rick?
Oh, my advice is get your father to pound his cock against my cheeks, my beloved Saint Julia's cheeks. I would love nothing. I'm sorry again.
I would call Satan for guidance before I called Ray.
Dude, it was unbelievable. So I'm like, oh God, what do I tell this
Now
girl
that
to
the
do,
subject's on Rake, how about when we were in L.A. at the Hilton, and he's like, got a hot date tonight. I'm just like, who? He's like, yeah,
Here we go.
she's bringing baggage though. I'm like, what is she bringing, like a kid or something? No, she's bringing her boyfriend. Why would you even bother?
We had plans to go baggage. We were going to go to all the VIP nightclubs. We had tables set up, and we called it off because we knew we had a two-night.
Shit, that don't concern me.
Oh, yeah, it does. Because the funny thing was, after he laid lines to her all night with her boyfriend sitting right next to him, he was convinced the only reason why he didn't get lucky is because we made jokes about it all night.
Rev, did you go with us?
Yeah, dude, I was there with Dr. Brian.
Dr. Brian.
Dr. Brian was ready to kick my ass because you
No
idiot.
shit, because you didn't even make eye contact with the guy. You were rapping to his girlfriend. I used to dream about you in high school, and I'm like sitting there looking at this guy. Soccer Brian is ready to kick his ass, and I have to like, do you think I give a shit about Soccer Brian? I felt so bad for the guy that I was like, so, where are you from? And he was like, you're trying to make small talk because he's watching Rake rap.
There ain't no
chick.
small talk.
Dude, Rake came with a forecast. He told us,
well, the winds are coming in from the west, and then the sun's going to come up around 11.
That's not going to get her pants off, Rake, I assure you.
Note to the ladies, you're going to hang out with me, no baggage.
What baggage? It's not baggage. It's a boyfriend. It's a relationship.
That don't concern me.
It does. It concerns her.
I ain't going to be there tomorrow.
Baggage is if she has
Tell
like
him
a
to
problem
wait.
to whine about.
Tell
Not a
that
boyfriend.
Fool, you tell that fool to wait in the car. I'll be done 15 minutes of your money
Rick,
back.
Rick, did you really think that he was just going to chill in the lobby bar while you railed his chick upstairs?
Rick, this is the honest to God truth. Because of your fucking idiots that night, she fucked him extra hard.
Hey, that's fine. I get a friend.
Remember, he was just like, she's bringing her boyfriend, and we were getting ready to go to Sunset Strip and rage it on, but we're just like, dude, Sunset Strip could never be as good as this. We are following Rake around just to see how uncomfortable of a situation this is going to be for Soccer Brian.
And the thing is, he's still oblivious to it because he said, yeah, Soccer Brian almost beat my ass because of you guys.
Yeah,
not because
jerk.
of us, but because you're hitting on his girlfriend.
He never believed that he was the problem.
Well, I think her invited there to play freaking Parcheesi. Get the hell out of here.
But she was trying to tell you that the reason why she was bringing her boyfriend is because she likes him and she just wanted to visit you.
Oh, that's okay.
No, it isn't. It's not okay. Dude, you told her that you used to dream about her right in front of her boyfriend.
They come
Dude,
and they
Soccer
go.
Brian was like basically a foot away from you.
but the funny
Everyone's got a boyfriend or a fiance or whatever. That don't concern me.
Well, it does. Maybe if she would have came up without her boyfriend, you might have been able to rig something. But she brought him along. She was holding his hand the whole time you guys were chit-chatting. She was letting you know she wasn't interested.
or available.
Right? I have a
Of course. Tell them all. I'm going to me.
All right, Ray. We used to live with this scumbag Buddy Bill guy whose blood was AIDS, and then he got Super 8, so it just ate away, so he got all better. But Reagan him had long hair and a goatee and the same headboard on the bed. And the girl went in, banged Buddy Bill all night, and then in the wee hours of the night, she stumbled in to Rake's room after she used her bathroom. After she used the bathroom, she went in the Rake's room and banged Rake, and then woke up in the morning and was like,
oh God, no.
You aren't Bill.